Mark and I did a show called Worst Cooks.
That
We
was
had
such
fun.
Your brother, by the way.
Yeah.
Late in the game, when I was feeling super confident, took me out of that show.
What?
In a one-on-one
No way.
competition.
No.
We had to cook Italian.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm done. I'm done already.
Oh my God.
I'm going against full-blooded.
I know.
over here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, listen,
so
Mark,
here's
I hate to do this to you.
Yes.
I'm
Here's the
gonna have to
thing.
take you out.
I hear they call you the Godfather of Reality.
Happy Friday, everybody! Welcome back to
everybody.
Buddy Love Pod. Welcome back. We are in studio, and we have someone in studio with us, which is always our favorite to have.
Way
somebody
better in
here.
studio than
No
either on
zooming.
Zoom.
Who's
Not
zooming
fun.
who, baby?
Yep.
Not here, not today. Matt, you want to take it away?
Absolutely. The Godfather of Reality, as we call him.
Yes. Well,
Mark
as everybody calls him.
Long.
Let's go.
Mark Long,
Is he
everybody.
in the studio?
Let's go.
The crowd goes wild.
Goes wild.
The neighbors are banging at the window.
There
Trying
we
to
go.
get in.
There we go.
Reality television.
Yes.
He's the Godfather.
And I will say this, my peers have labeled me that.
That's okay.
So many people are like, you call yourself. I'm like, look, I've never called myself.
Yes,
that.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like
That's good.
they call me that, so I've embraced it.
Embrace
love
it.
it. I love
Embrace
it, man.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it. I mean, it's been quite a journey for you. It's
It
been-
has.
How long has it been?
Well, my first show, the original Road Rules on MTV, was aired in 1995.
Oh my God.
in July.
Wow.
In fact, the same premiere day,
my
July, I think it was 19th, is the same premiere day as the original Clueless movie.
Oh
No way.
my-
So Road
as
Rules
if.
Clueless.
Wow.
As
Yes.
if.
And they actually, my first big LA moment was I got invited to the Clueless premiere in Malibu on the beach. So
Wow.
not only was my show airing, and I'm just a new, I'm like a nobody, and I show up, I'm like, wow, Janie McCarthy's here, and
Right,
Elisa
right,
Silverstone,
right.
and Elisa Donovan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. How
So-
crazy is that?
yeah, so whole full circle.
So we did a
Who
show.
everybody's worked with.
Yeah, so we
Yes.
did a show together. You worked with
We had
her?
her on Melissa and Joey.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
She has done.
She's the best.
Yeah, she's
she's
so
done
awesome.
everything.
Yep.
Everything.
Okay, so-
and she's so nice.
So I met her when Mark and I did a show called Worst Cooks together. And we had a blast. I'm just going to preface it with saying thank you, dude. You were by far, the highlight out of that experience. It was so cool to get to know you.
Thank you,
You were
my
a
brother.
gentleman.
yeah, he came
You
back
are-
talking about his bromance. He was like, this guy.
a really
the show
cool-
was
yeah.
whatever. He
Yeah,
said, but
no,
this guy was.
You were
Yeah.
so cool. It's so
Yeah.
nice, genuine. It was really cool to see because you don't meet a lot. A lot of people in this industry. They're always kind of either climbers or what can I get at it. You had none
They're
of
jerks.
that.
Let's
Yeah.
just be They're
You had
friggin'
none of
jerks.
that.
Yeah, they're
Dude,
jerks.
Really,
And
they're
the feeling-
fake. Cool
and
to see.
Totally fake,
Yes,
by the way.
And the
Yeah.
feelings were mutual. So many people I've told you about, so many people were huge fans of yours. And the great thing is, between all of our cooking and stuff, we actually truly got to hang out.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
we actually enjoyed it.
Yep.
Like, we didn't want to we got to hang out with this person. Like,
Yeah.
when we back to the hotel, we enjoyed
Yeah, it was cool.
That
We
was
had
such
fun.
Your brother, by the way.
Yeah.
Late in the game, when I was
Yeah.
feeling super confident, took me out of that show.
What?
In a one-on-one
No way.
competition,
No.
we had to cook Italian.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm done. I'm done already.
Oh my God.
I'm going against full-blooded.
I know.
over here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, listen,
so
Mark,
here's
I hate to do this to you.
Yes.
Here's
I'm
the
gonna have to
thing.
take you out.
I hear they call you the Godfather of Reality.
But I'm the Godfather.
Let me
of
tell you
cooking
something.
Italian
I'm the
food.
Godfather in reality.
Yo.
No. So anyway, I was
Such a
so
fuss.
bummed.
Yeah.
One, because we were the only dudes left.
right.
I was pissed off
E2,
that they put
Bruce.
us that they pitted us together because I knew one of us.
Well, that's
had
why
to
they
go
did it.
home.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah,
and I
of
was like,
course.
wait a minute.
They pit two alpha males.
Yeah.
They gotta
That's what they do.
they gotta keep a guy representation on each team at least
Right.
until the semifinals.
So wait,
I was bummed.
what
about
did you guys
that.
cook? I'm curious.
They gave us just kind of a generic, you
Yeah.
guys using these ingredients, you have to cook your best Italian. And I will say this, mine visually
Was great.
looked
It looked
pretty
amazing,
great.
dude. Yeah, it did.
Like,
It looked
looked
great.
like it was colorful and stuff.
Yeah.
His just tasted, and I tasted it after, his just tasted so
Really?
much better. And like he had peas in his and like something like,
What? I
but-
did carbonara, so it was like,
Oh.
although I was going into that elimination high on my dish looking great,
it did look great.
I
man.
tasted his, and even the judges were like, man, they're like, Joey's is, I mean, Matthews is just so much better, which I agreed.
Well, you know,
And-
Wow.
I got that. I had lucky because, to be honest, in those moments, it's like there's no prep.
Right.
You literally come out and you're already nervous. You're like, it's an elimination
Did
round.
you guys cook the same thing?
No,
No.
we
okay.
just had the same ingredients to use.
Gotcha.
Same ingredients. So you walk up there and
How did you come up with a carbonara? Did
Did
you
you
just
bacon
like,
on the table or something?
No, it was like, okay, so I just went with like a creamy something the dad would have made. So I knew it was like cream, Parmesan cheese, some
So good.
garlic, some peas, whatever I could. And I was freaking out though inside my head.
Yeah.
So the
You
only
spent a
thing-
lot of time doing that.
Did you
Yes.
bake it? What did you do? Did you?
No, you do it stovetop and you whisk the
Oh,
sauce and
gosh.
anyway. But the
Okay.
only thing that got me through was having a bit of a background in it because you're so nervous, dude, in those moments. I
Yeah.
mean, you're out there and you see this back. You're like, what are you gonna make? There's no. You have to make this,
And then there's a time constraint.
and there's a time.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well,
That was my
Just
least
this
favorite
show
thing about that
sucks.
show.
This show
The
sucks.
time constraint was ridiculous. Even now, like when I cook for myself, I really like the time. I like to really set things out. I like to cut my apple and my avocado.
Yeah.
Then I like to, get the eggs whisked and set them aside. Like I like my time, my organization. There is none of that on
Yeah.
that show, man. They give you like 20 minutes to come up with this incredible dish, and otherwise, bye, you're
And
home.
I always said this. When you watch we had to do the main dishes, and you got an hour to do the main dish. But when they showed you, the chefs would show you how they did it. It would always take them like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
If it's taking you an hour and a half.
Yeah, it should
what-
take
what
you
happened
2
to the
hours.
30
There should be a
Exactly.
handicap
But I
or
was,
something.
I mean, I've done everything from skydive, bungee jump,
Wow.
going in volcano, but that show
Yeah.
was the nervous I've ever been.
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
in a full sweat
Oh,
every
yeah.
episode.
Oh, me too.
Because I
dude.
was seriously a worse cook. I didn't even have pots and pans before that. I was literally
Oh my God,
like an
that's
order out
amazing.
guy.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
amazing.
But I was a nervous wreck the entire show.
It was. They do it on purpose. And then they show you, like, they air each episode as if you've had a week to prepare. We had 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's
They
a
shoot
joke.
them all
That's a joke.
clumped up in like a week and a half
Of
period.
course, of course.
And you're like, wait, this is going to look like I had a week to prepare this?
Right,
Who ended up winning? Jodie Sweetin or no? It was Tracy Gold
I think
ended up
Tracy.
winning.
Who was like,
What?
Miss. That's one other thing I didn't like. She was like a full on chef, dude.
Oh, that's
First
just-
day, you know what I said? I said, if this is Worst Cooks, I said, like 90% of this cast has kids and have
I
cooked
know,
before.
I
know.
You have no kids.
No.
I have no kids. I'm like, we're screwed right from the beginning.
I know.
That's true.
Because we don't have to keep
Yeah.
anything
That is
alive
very
true.
except
Yeah.
ourselves.
That is
Yeah.
so
Very
true.
true.
I know, man.
Wow.
I was shocked that the and Tracy was great, but I mean, she was the best cook.
Yeah.
She was making like apple cobbler.
Oh my God.
Oh, come on.
We were like, what? She's clearly
Nobody makes cobbler.
does this.
Just
an
sliced
expert
baked potato.
I
and
knew I was
some-
done. We had to do like a waffle, and she made her own syrup that was a special formula
my
she made,
gosh.
and I tasted it, and it tasted phenomenal. I'm like, you have to know how to cook if you can do this.
100%.
You make your own syrup?
Yes.
You're not the worst cook.
Yeah, it's
You're
the
traitor.
best. Yeah.
Traitor.
I know.
You're the best.
Well,
I know.
It's
But anyway,
honestly,
I was
yeah.
really bummed because I really did not. This is my worst case scenario would have been to go against this guy.
Right.
I would have rather been put out by one of the girls. At least one of us.
Right,
I didn't
goes
want
on.
to deal with that. So that was a real bummer for me. That was not a win that I celebrated.
a fellow Philly brother.
Yeah, you're from
right?
Philly,
it was
man.
the worst.
Yeah, born
I
in
know,
Philly.
You
dude.
too, that's crazy.
Now,
dude.
are you guys all from Philly?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
man.
are.
So I was born in Upper Darby,
Upper
Okay.
Darby.
Wow.
Cool, dude.
Fitzgerald Mercy Hospital.
We were born Holy Redeemer Hospital
Nice.
in
Montgomery County.
In Montgomery County, but
Okay.
I went to Abingdon Friends. You know Abingdon
Yeah,
school
yeah.
system and the Friends school system,
Yeah.
Germantown Friends, and so we were
so my
friends,
whole
guys.
family, my dad was born there, my mom was born there.
Same.
She went to
Us
nursing
same.
school
Us
there.
too.
yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
And it's still, you know this, if you're not a Philly fan and you're born there, you might as well leave the home.
Oh, yeah, you gotta go.
But like I
You gotta
still
go.
love going back there. I recently was back there last year for WrestleMania in Philadelphia.
Cool.
Which is
Cool.
awesome.
Cool.
That's
I know
cool.
you've been. That's so fun, dude.
Yeah,
That's so
it's
rad.
the best. I'm going to SummerSlam in Cleveland in a
No
couple
way.
weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of my good friends, The Miz, still wrestles.
Oh
for
no
them.
way, The Miz. Yeah, cool.
One of my good buddies.
That's
but
awesome.
he's a
That's
former
awesome.
MTV guy too.
Is he?
Yeah, he was a Real World guy. And then he actually, I will say
didn't know
this.
that.
This is kind of one of my coolest things for The Miz. I was the first one to introduce The Miz into a wrestling ring as The Miz. Because on one of the challenges that I hosted, it was a wrestling thing, and he wanted to be introduced as The Miz.
Wow.
Cut two, he's now a huge
That's
WWE
crazy.
So
superstar.
he's how did he get the name though? The Miz.
He kind of created him himself. His last name's Mizanin.
right.
So
The Miz.
he
but-
kind of created this as his alter ego. He's always, since he was little, wanted
Is
to
he
be a
still
wrestler.
married? Who's he married to?
Maurice.
Maurice. I did a movie with her.
Did you really?
I did. She was because she's also a wrestler, right?
She was.
Was,
Now
not
she-
anymore.
Yeah,
Right,
She kind of
right.
gets involved here and there.
Right,
yeah.
but she was
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Okay. Super, really cool lady.
Yeah.
I
French
did.
Canadian.
Yes, I did a movie with her.
Really?
I didn't know who she was, but she was like the head bad, like the head villain in this movie that I did about
Really?
zombies on an island. For real.
That's
no
awesome.
joke.
Wow.
I worked like a week on it, but she was so cool. You know, it was one of those things where you just go in there for 5 days and you do your thing and
Yeah,
then you're out.
yeah.
But she was so nice.
Yeah,
and she
she's
was
great.
talking to me. She loved cars. She was talking to me about her husband. Said that he was a wrestler and the whole thing, and
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
him. It was the Miz.
Those two are like
Small
the
world.
biggest power couple
They are.
that I know.
Dude, they're cool, man.
They live up in Calabasas, and they might as well live on freaking Disneyland because you pull up to this estate, and I'm like, man, this guy really, her and him really took
Wow,
off. But
yeah.
they're great people.
Yeah, that's
I'll
cool.
get to see him again in a couple weeks. But yeah,
awesome.
it's I
awesome.
love that, Maurice.
Isn't that
Yep.
great? Small world, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know, of all people, but I did. Yeah, it's crazy.
You
man.
dipped your toe in reality.
I
Joey.
did, I
Little
did.
Celebrity Big Brother.
Horrible.
Now,
Hated it.
was your
It was the
Did
worst.
you hate it?
I hate that show.
Well, he is also he's like the last person in
Yeah.
the world.
No, can I just
I
tell you
would
what?
ever want to
Can I
like
just tell you
think would
what?
go.
That was a
would
total
be in that
dupe.
scenario.
We were working on a lot of stuff with
dupe.
CBS,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Please do this," and these other things, you know. And even
They
after all these
dangled the
years,
carrot.
even
Yeah.
after all these years,
I fell for it.
I still
Yeah.
get duped. Yeah,
Yeah.
43 years in, and
So
people
you
still
hated
lie.
it.
I literally hated it.
Well,
and,
look, I
the
actually-
people, honestly, other than Ryan Lochte, who was great, he's a great guy. Everybody else, a complete.
Isn't that
phony,
funny? Because
complete
when you
phony
would
on
look
that
at
show.
it from a macro
yeah,
perspective, you wouldn't necessarily think you would say that.
yeah.
But that just goes to show you what you perceive somebody to be
It
isn't
is
necessarily all
when
the time what
I
they
had
actually
no
are.
idea that everything other than Ryan, everything on that show is fake. Like everything out of everybody's mouth on that show is a lie.
Poor guy.
There is nothing
He's so,
real.
he's got. He has no clue.
No,
he's
there is
getting
nothing
himself
real.
into.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, he's
Like literally, there's
Yeah.
not one person said one honest thing. They're all liars. Literally, it's unbelievable.
And I
Like,
talked.
I hate this piece of shit. I'm out. They were like, "Hey, you're gonna go home." I was like, "Praise God, please." I was like, "Vote me. I'm done, dude." I purposely did not win challenges. Like I wanted out. Like a weekend, I was like, "See ya."
And I talked to him about this because I feel like you're like I like structure in my life.
Yes.
Like I like this is when I exercise.
Oh my God.
So
Dude,
like
me
you
too.
being in there was probably a freaking night.
Dude,
It
it
was
was
an-
a
yeah.
I'm sure.
nightmare,
I'm
bro.
sure. I
Did
did
they,
not
wait,
see
didn't they
you
lock
First
you?
of all,
they
there's no
didn't-
sun.
They locked you
Yeah.
in a
They
room.
lock
or
you in
something?
the-
And it's on the studio lot.
Yeah,
right?
it's on a sound
It's literally
stage.
like
There's
a
no
mini
sun
house.
for
There's
weeks.
no sun.
It's all fluorescent lighting.
Oh
They
no.
fake everything. They would not let us outside. It was
What?
oh, dude, it's
Dude,
Yeah.
that's awful.
it's torture, and they do that on purpose because they want you to be
right. They want you to spin it and get.
Oh my god!
get in your head.
Forget it. I couldn't do
I
that.
would love it.
That you
I
just
would-
nailed
I
it
think
for
Andy
me.
would love
I think I'd conquer.
You know what the
The
I
lights
told-
would go out. We'd come back on. We'd all be tribal people.
Oh, my
So I
gosh.
talked to
I'd
my
be,
mom right before I came in here, and I told him I was. She knows you from watching the show,
Mm-hmm.
but I said, you know what I'm most excited about, and I love you guys. I said because you guys are all obviously super close brothers, but you all are so independently different.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
Joey is so much different than Matthew, so much different than you, which I
Yeah.
think is cool. Like you
Yeah.
guys each have your own identity.
We
It's
do.
not like
You do.
him and his fucking reptile stuff.
I
It's
know,
just
man.
crazy.
It's
No,
a
no, I
crazy
can't.
thing.
I can't.
Crazy, and you like I
Yeah.
saw the motorcycle.
I
I'm
like
like that's got to be you.
motorcycles and
You
guitars
identify
and
with
stuff.
like on a like a working out physical fitness
Yes.
type of
True.
deal.
Yeah,
Like, so it was
true.
like it was nice to come in here knowing that you guys are all so different.
We are.
Yeah.
we are.
But that's great though.
We are different. No,
My
we
brother
are.
and I are totally different too.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably watched.
Are you the oldest or are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
But he
Shut up.
He could
Shut
care
up,
less what
dummy.
I do. He doesn't care what I do on TV.
It's awesome.
He probably won't watch one episode of the show coming up. But,
Wow.
like,
Great.
that's just because and it's not because he doesn't support me. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's
I
got
get
his
it.
own stuff. You
Yeah.
know
That's
what I mean?
awesome.
So,
That's
but
awesome.
it's kind
does he have kids?
he has I have two nieces. Yeah, so he has two
Nieces.
girls.
And you have no kids.
I have no kids. I have an
Wow.
ex-wife.
Perfect.
Yes, but I don't have any kids from it.
That's,
Yep.
yeah.
I
we
got-
all have those.
I got the
we got
dog.
those.
I don't.
I know.
You're smart.
Andy
You
avoided
know.
that.
You're
He's-
smart.
Yes.
You got your
Yeah.
pup. Your puppy.
Yeah, I got.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Do you ever want to have kids one day? I mean,
I'm too old, man.
You're too
I
old
mean,
now?
look,
Yeah, I
if I happen to, oh my God, someone's
Yeah.
girl I'm with that, like I wouldn't be sad,
right.
but I think at this point in my life, I enjoy like the guy I'm staying with here, best friend, his wife. They have two little ones. For the last couple of days, I was like
Oh.
Uncle Mark, and I
Yeah.
loved it.
yeah.
But in
you know,
terms
it's
of
a lot.
having it, and because my travel schedule now is crazy.
Yeah, man.
They have us doing these live shows that we do outside, not them, but like we do them. So I travel like on the weekends, and it's just I would love to get another dog. I had a dog out here for 17 years, but I just because I knew how much hard it was, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just pump the brakes. But I'm not afraid to. It's just I feel like that ship has sailed.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
We'll see. You know
Okay.
what? Like you said,
Yeah.
you never
You
know.
never know.
Exactly.
what life will throw to
Honestly,
you.
you do never know.
How many do you have?
I have 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
I have 18, 14, and 17 months.
And do you love it?
I do love it.
And he's got 4 more on the way.
No, I do not.
I always tease him.
He's at 4 more on the way,
he's
baby,
just
that
such a
I don't
prick.
know of.
Yeah.
Joe's gonna have 7 or 8 kids by the
Yeah,
time.
no,
he-
I've
I
been,
can see you, Matthew.
Yeah, I
having a child.
do. I
Yeah.
think
He's got to get on it. You know,
Yeah,
he's gotta
yeah.
get
I
on
would
it.
like to be a dad. I keep reading about guys, and even when they wait later on in life, that they didn't know what part of their brain activated until you actually have your own child,
Yeah.
and how there's something that switches over in your brain that you never could possibly imagine unless you actually go through it. That I think you'll find out is important in life. So
Yeah. You
I
switch
want
from,
to-
and you know this, Joe, you switch from caring only about yourself
right.
to now shifting, and probably, the majority of your caring goes towards them.
It's yeah, it's weird. I've been caring for others since 2006. That's what
Yeah.
I'm doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
And you probably will
forever
now.
forever.
But you're a young dad. At least, you're a young dad.
I started young with
Yeah.
Charlie. I mean, on the younger side,
Yeah.
29, but it
That's
was
young.
That's pretty
But
young. dude.
yeah.
Problem is, you guys all just look so young still.
Dude, you did too,
I
man.
know.
Yeah, you
This
do too.
guy, how old are you?
Well, I look old and haggard.
How
I
old are
am
you?
young.
No.
How old?
36.
Still young.
Yeah,
No,
you're-
dude,
he's,
he's young.
he's a
Yeah.
baby.
He's
Yeah.
young.
When
young.
what scares me the most, what I have nightmares about, is when he's 46.
right,
Because then I don't even want to say how old I'm gonna be.
yeah, bro.
Oh,
Andy and I are 11 years.
scares me.
Really? Yeah, yeah.
11 and a
I
half.
will say this: when I hit the big 5-0
I know.
a couple years ago,
Yeah.
I was like, man, because you know this. When you look back, when you're 18 and
Oh
you
my
hear
gosh.
someone's 45, you're like, man, that's old. I can't wait. That's gonna be old.
That's
I
gonna be
know.
But
so long too.
I
from
still,
now,
I
but
will
it's-
say this: even with the shows and stuff, I feel as physical capable or stronger now than I did when I did my first challenge, which was when I was 20, 23 or 4.
It's good to hear.
I feel stronger.
Yeah.
I'm more agile. Like I guess the coordination got better or something, but I don't feel like I'm going to be the old man going into one of these shows, even though some of the cast members are still in their 20s.
Right.
Wow. Well, men reach their physical peak in their 50s.
Good.
I worked out Sunday. I was 36. I think the next guy was 52. The next guy was 66. The next guy was 71, 74. I got my ass kicked.
Did you really?
I mean, I got my ass kicked. These guys outperformed me. So it's a testament to what we can really do if we put our minds to it and we stay in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice to have that, as now it's more of a lifestyle thing for me.
That's what it is for
When
me
you're
too.
younger, it's like, oh, I want to be able to lift this.
Yeah, nah.
Like when you get out of the gym, don't you mentally just feel great?
I feel so much better. I also do things to avoid injury. I'm not into. I actually laugh when people ask me how much I bench. When the young guys go, "What do you curl?" I'm like, "Dude, you're an idiot. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything."
Yeah.
Curling is. I do it with good form. I do
Right.
it with lightweight. I've
Yeah.
never had an injury. There's a way to avoid that by just being really smart and not letting your ego get the best of you.
Yep.
You do it for coordination.
Yep.
You do it for looks too, because it does feel good to be in good
Yeah,
shape.
yeah, yeah.
Obviously, you put on a shirt and it feels good.
Yeah, it feels
It
good.
feels great at this age. There's no doubt about it. But for me, it is really, it's all of those things. It's not, and it's the last thing it's about is actually the weight I move. I actually don't even care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like, it's meaningless.
literally this year,
What do you bench?
I just
It's like-
crossed.
You're like,
No, it doesn't matter.
that's like a high school college
It is
question.
so, and
It
guys,
is.
but guys still
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's
But this year, literally, I just crossed over from going, okay, I want to work out because I want to do this and that and look this way, to it's got to be a lifestyle choice, because I
Yeah.
can see it now
Oh, yeah.
where I could go a week and then I could pick those things up. And now if I do that, I see how much I've lost.
Yep.
So I'm like, no, you know what? It's a daily, consistent dedication, because you're right. It's not just physical, it's mental in a
It is
big
mental.
way.
If I work out in the morning, I'll have the best, most productive work
There you
day
go.
ever.
Mhm.
If I don't, I'll still do, I'll
Get it
do
through.
it out. But
Mhm.
But
but
it's not
like
the same.
there's something about, and I do it in the morning too. Just I get it out of the way and I feel
I'm
great.
so with you on
Me
that.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mornings,
I feel great.
because dude, by like 5, 6 o'clock, I'm
Yeah.
getting tired, man.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you're-
when the day ends, so then after a work day,
Yeah.
go and hit the gym. I'm
Your,
like,
your
"Oh."
exercise isn't as good, isn't as efficient. There's a whole slew of things and reasons. I agree completely. If I
Right.
get it done, and then I also just feel good because then I
Yeah.
think, I don't
It
have
sets
it's not
your
hanging
whole-
over my
It
head.
sets your whole day up.
Does.
And
Making your bed, a good breakfast,
Yes.
and a
Yes.
quick workout.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And-
sets the table
Yeah.
for the
I'll
whole
tell
day.
you something hilarious. So when I started doing these challenges, right? It was the first one was in 1998 that
You've been doing it a while,
Yes,
huh?
it was one of the first ones.
What was the first one you did?
It was called Real World versus Road Rules.
Okay,
And they
okay.
basically had
Yep.
a group of Real World cast versus Road Rules cast.
Mm.
And we traveled the country we had like a tour bus van, which was nice,
Mm.
and like a real crappy one. And whoever won the challenge of that day
No.
got the good one.
That's awesome.
my
And then the
goodness.
other one's got the crappy one. Thank God we won like 6 out of 7 of the competition.
amazing.
So I barely was even this one. But the greatest thing was at the end of the show, they took the crappy one and literally hooked up dynamite to it and just blew it up. Like out
Oh,
so that was like the
my God.
finale of the show. But back then, now when I go to the challenge house, like I was in Vietnam shooting this one,
Wow.
they have a full gym for us. They have this, that, and the other. But back
Amazing.
then it was like there was no even thought of having a gym
Totally.
or a
Wow.
fitness area,
Right,
and we were
right.
still doing crazy stuff.
Yeah,
But
right.
like there wasn't like, hey, if you guys are gonna bring your protein, make sure you Greek it out, that I cover it up. But like back then it was like, who wants a soda?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
there wasn't
I know.
the whole technology
Yep.
and whole actually like just the challenge itself has went from kind of goofy back in the day, which is fun for the viewer and fun for us, to really kind of like hardcore,
Yeah.
like you could lose your life kind of
Right.
stuff, like jumping off buildings or moving on trucks and jumping around. So it's kind
Crazy.
of elevated in terms of the production value too, which is cool for us
Yeah.
because I would never get to do that stuff on my own.
Totally.
No, I love that about
I love
about
that.
what we do.
Yeah.
Is you get to not only meet all these cool people
Do
and
crazy
experience
stuff
things,
and-
but you get to learn and pick up all these different trades and skills
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
things that you would never do. It's so
What is
cool.
this? What is the new show? What is the new one?
So the new show is called The Challenge Battle of the Eras. And
Okay.
what they
Okay.
did was they have 4 teams. So it's era 1 through 4, and each era represents a time of the challenge that you competed. So the era 1,
Wow.
obviously the OGs.
Mhm.
It's like all the old folks, I guess. But
My God.
all the ones that were
It's a
still
wheelchair challenge.
Yes,
We
exactly.
just it's a bumper cars
I'm
and
gonna crush
wheelchairs.
that.
Yeah.
So era 1 obviously is the OGs. Then
Wow.
era 2 is a little bit, younger. Era 3 is a little bit younger, and era 4 is like most recent. And era 4 they kind of opened it up to some international players too. So there's a gal in there from London, another guy from London, a sprinter. His name's Theo. But it was
Theo.
cool because
We'll take him out.
yeah, let's take it. Let's take it.
I'm
Theo, by the
sorry,
way-
I don't know how to do it. Oh, you don't know how to do it? I have done
Yeah.
it.
Theo, by the way, was an Olympic sprinter
Oh,
for the
gosh.
UK. He's like 6'6",
Oh,
250.
What?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Why? That's not fair. Hey.
Yes. Just a diesel. But I will say this. They do even out the competitions, the physical part, with lots of puzzles now.
Wow.
So, which I feel like he would thrive
Yeah, I
in.
think
Yeah, he would. He would.
Right? That's just my guess
Yeah.
from just judging
Yeah.
personalities. But like different puzzles and there's different strategies. But we shot it in Vietnam,
Vietnam.
which was wild.
Yeah, how was that?
It was not great.
Yeah,
It
no,
was not
no,
great.
dude. It's no.
Yeah.
No. Whenever they're like, "Hey, you're going to Bulgaria," it's like
Yeah.
it's not doesn't sound great. It just
thing
doesn't
that-
sound good.
The thing
you know?
that people don't know is
Hawaii.
Transylvania,
You know, yeah.
Transylvania, we
Fiji,
can sign
yeah.
me up,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
Transylvania.
Caribbean,
Yeah.
yeah,
But-
perfect. You
Yeah.
know, but
I knew we were in for it because usually, they'll hire on like a local catering and stuff like that. That's local. So I went down the first day and I remember I was looking through the breakfast options and I went through, there was no real like American breakfast.
Yeah.
There was a bowl of soup that had full on frogs in it.
No way.
And I'm like,
Oh.
is this for us to eat? Or I'm like, can we like get some eggs or bacon? So like in terms
my
of really feeling like I was in Vietnam, the first morning waking up, I was
Frog
like,
soup.
this is
Frog soup.
Vietnam.
you know that scene from Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom, the
monkey brains?
at that kingdom, and there's like monkey brains. The eyes like this is so good.
Yes,
They're
yes,
sucking
yes.
out the guts of those
Wait,
large.
and she
roaches.
doesn't want to eat it. And
Right,
he's like, eat it.
It was.
Tell me they got you guys some more edible
We
dishes.
we kind of let our opinions known.
I'm sure.
And the next day we had, the eggs and the whatnot. But
I can't believe they didn't have eggs for you guys. They had
Yes.
frog soup.
yes, frog
Wow.
soup, which was could tell, this was totally Vietnam. But, one of the things that I'm blessed with is every challenge that I've done, which has been many, it's always shot in one of those crazy locations. So for me, it was like school. Going to like Thailand, we shot. I did a shoot in down in South America.
Yeah.
We did Jamaica. We did up in Canada. So for me, it was like free travel and free schooling.
That's the best part.
Yeah, and you usually stay after if you get eliminated or whatnot.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and you get to tool around, but you've actually really gained a really good community, just like you guys probably had growing up doing the sitcoms
For
and
sure.
whatnot.
Yeah,
Sure,
exactly.
yeah.
Being in that realm,
Yeah.
you still see them. You guys do the Comic-Cons and stuff.
Yeah, we
Every now
are.
and then we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
But like seeing those peers, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, it's Elisa.
I'm actually. I think she's going to be at the '90s
Oh,
con
the 90s one?
in September, right?
Yeah.
September.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that at Daytona Beach?
Daytona.
Yeah,
buddy.
she is going to that.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. There it is. There
But
it
like
is.
it's the same kind of like fraternity, sorority type of
It
feel
is.
to it.
Yeah.
And I would never meet these people outside of the show. I just wouldn't be able to.
For sure.
Physically, I wouldn't be in the same location at them or the same state that they live in. But it's kind of cool. And
It
the
is.
fact that I love doing Worst Cooks. Got to meet outside my bubble because
Yeah.
it was called That's So 90.
Right.
So I was the 90s reality star. He was
Right.
like one of the 90s sitcom. But meeting you guys was so cool because we all grew up in that era.
Yep.
And what a crazy era there
Oh
was.
my gosh.
They
man.
I love watching those like flashbacks Instagram
it's
things
great.
I
because it makes
know.
you feel like,
It's so.
and I hate to say it, but like kids these days have a crappy time.
Dude, they do.
Like
know,
we
they
had
do.
really
I know.
good
They did.
movies,
They do.
Yeah, we
music.
did.
We
No,
weren't
no, dude,
stuck on our cell phones.
Dude, it was great.
You
We-
know.
we had the perfect balance of technology, and yet we still lived in an analog world where you had to viscerally experience things, and it was really cool to be able to experience things.
Yeah.
And you were able to be with your friends, and you could go
Well-
to even Disneyland with a group of your friends, and you weren't worried about what everybody else was thinking.
Yeah.
You had your phone, in case your parents called or
Right,
you need to
that's
text
it.
someone, but that's it. Like you could live in the moment. When you were in a movie theater, like you look at these kids today, they can't even watch a damn movie without literally they're like, what's my snap?
Yeah.
Well, because
what's my snap streak?
it's the
Yeah,
double screen
100%.
now.
Mhm.
So
Like,
now
this is
to be
just-
fully immersed in something, theoretically, they needed the double screen. They
I
need
know,
two screens.
I know.
It's not just focus on one. It's keeping both things open, and
I mean,
then you're
it's so, and then you're
Woof.
all over the place, and nobody can really just be immersed in the moment.
Yep.
They cannot. They're always worried about something else. It's really sad. It's really sad how we've really shattered the human experience into a bunch of little parts. And I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We'll never get it back.
No,
I don't think.
never,
no,
never.
no, it's gone. And I talk about those social posts. There's one in particular where they go, if you were, if you grew up in the '90s, you'll recognize these, and they flash like the things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, oh my gosh,
And it
yes.
makes you feel
yeah,
good,
I was
right?
like, wait a minute, yes,
Yeah.
I did that, yes, I
Yeah.
know that product, or
Yeah.
so cool, man.
Well, you always knew where the kids were because the bikes were on the front
Like
lawn.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly,
So cool,
exactly.
dude. No, and
There's
you're
another
right.
clip too. It shows like a hallway in a school, right? Like when
Yeah.
when the bell
Yes.
rings, everyone's walking and talking. At then says not a cell phone in sight.
Wow.
that-
Because they
No.
actually,
I
didn't
man.
have
Yeah.
the technology
No.
at the time.
Dude, it was so awesome.
I remember when
being
when
in school.
beepers came out,
Yeah.
Oh,
and I remember
gosh.
that they were always frowned upon because the person would get a beep, 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 and then we'd be like, oh,
yeah.
what is
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Really?
You weren't cool when you
Oh,
got
it's
it.
my
When
it's
you-
my parents. I gotta
Yeah.
go. And,
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
Can you
And
imagine?
now, if your
yeah.
phone is not going blip, 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 blip with snaps, you're not cool.
You're not cool. You're
you
not
now
in the
actually
race.
want the activity. Blip, blip, blip. I'm sorry. I'm just getting blown up. I'm sorry.
You guys will love this.
with useless information. you
when
know?
when I first applied for MTV back in the mid 90s, today you just shoot a video on your phone and you email it in, whatever. There was no email or no. So I remember I was at the University of Florida and I shot my video on like a camcorder, and I actually had to get the VHS tape, send it through the mail,
Wow.
and just hopefully that they saw my tape somehow.
Dude, that's
Wow.
crazy.
So they had to actually physically open the thing, put in a VHS tape to see my video. And I was like,
Unbelievable.
looking at it now, it's so easy, which is great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
back
right.
then, like, you had to put in so much work.
Totally.
To, like,
Yeah.
There was something cool about that, though. We
I
often
loved
talk
it.
about it, like Blockbuster weekends, when
Oh.
you'd go and you'd spend an hour just picking out your movies.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
you had to do that,
It
or
was the
saving up and
best.
going
It
into
was.
Tower Records or Sam Goody or
Yep.
whatever, and like being able to pick out the new CDs or the cassette singles. You remember those,
Yeah.
You
dude?
know what's funny?
The singles, yes.
Dude,
my
the
girlfriend
singles.
and I just had a conversation last night about CDs and how she's so pissed off because she just got a new truck and she can't get a CD to play in the darn thing.
Nope.
And she was like, "Why is
They
that?"
don't put
And
them
I
in
was
there,
like, and I was like, "Well, honestly, it's CDs in the new record." She's like, "Don't say that. Don't say that to me." And I was like, "No, they really are." She's like, "Not enough time has passed."
But
And I
she
was
still
like, well,
listens to
actually-
CDs.
Yeah, and I was like, "Wait a minute." I was like, "Actually, if you really think about it, from the record to the CD, it's not that big of a jump, and it's just size. There's still a circular code printed on it.
Yeah.
Just one was read with a pin and one was read with a laser.
Right.
That wasn't really too big. Now, all that information is stored on a microchip that's about that big.
Correct.
Tiny. So the jump is actually even further. That's why it's in theory, because we've progressed at such an exponential rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
In the same amount of time between a record and a CD and a little chip, it's like half
that's
the time
exactly right.
we've
Hold on, wait a
gone-
minute. You had
They're
records
20 times
explode.
further.
The record player exploded in the early 40s, right?
Right.
Pretty much. So
80s,
I got
40
my
years.
first CD. I'll never forget. Santa Claus brought me literally Billy Ocean, Tear Down These Walls.
Oh,
okay,
my God.
Yeah, that's a good record.
1986.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
got that, and I got the Huey Lewis 4 record with
I
This
love
Is
Huey-
It.
I love you.
Baby.
That's a
Lewis.
great record.
Oh,
That's a
my
great
God.
record.
This Is It. I love
That's
it.
so
Great.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so good.
and Forest for the Trees and all these great songs that Huey Lewis. I mean, if this is love, then me know. You gotta let me know. This is it.
Yes.
Ew.
Huey Lewis is one
Oh my
of the
God, dude.
underrated
Yes.
artists
Yeah.
ever.
Huey Lewis
really is, man.
is so good.
Did you-
Jacob's Ladder.
Oh.
Yeah,
my God,
yeah.
dude, there are songs.
Yeah.
I'm
I
telling
mean,
you, he and his
Hit
voice
to
was
Be
so
Square.
great.
It's dude, it's
Hit to Be
still good. I
Square.
saw him not that long ago. He's
Power of
fantastic.
Love?
Yes.
Oh, back
Yeah.
in time.
my
They're great.
God.
Did you guys watch the documentary yet on the We Are the World?
Yes.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
him in that?
Yes.
He was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He was so
dude,
nervous.
He crushed that.
He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, but
He
like,
did. He didn't know he was going to get a solo. He was
Right,
like, "Wait, I
right.
get the solo." He's like, "I'm not the best singer here." They're
Yeah.
like, "You get it." It was great.
so
Great.
you'll love this.
I love you.
When I did my first Road Rules, because they literally, like I told you guys before, they literally played it for like a year, and it was because they didn't know if it was going to be a success before they picked up season 2, which they ended up doing. But it aired like 8 times a week on MTV. So my manager, who I got at the time, he said, "Hey, this record producer wants to try to make a single with you."
Wow.
And
No
I
way.
Said, I said, I was open to anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm down. So we actually made 2 singles.
No.
One of which is on iTunes at right
Oh,
now.
I'm gonna go listen to this.
We did a remake.
I can't wait.
We did a remake of this Peter Allen song called "I Go to Rio," and I actually wrote my own rap in the middle of it.
Oh
And by
my
the
gosh,
way,
I
by
cannot
the
wait.
way, Mr. Lawrence,
Yeah, I did a rap.
I want to say I got your CD
Okay.
and knew like half the songs on "Read My Eyes."
Oh my
Nothing
God.
Love Can't
Oh
Fix.
my God.
Dude, yeah. I want to say I played "Read My Eyes" for like a girlfriend at one time. I swear to God,
Nice.
shoot me down if I'm lying.
Wow,
No
this is
way.
awesome.
You
Love
in the
it.
vest on the cover,
Yeah.
dude. But like that was that was how I grew up. Like
Yeah.
we all were in the boy band era.
Yeah.
Your CD
for sure.
actually is. I think you have a CD back there. I don't know if
Is
the
that-
cover or is this a single or something.
No, this is Soulmates, dude.
Oh, that's another one.
But so like I was like.
Dude,
You know,
that's
I
so
had,
good.
I had New Kids on the Block play at my
Yeah, yeah.
senior thing in
Oh,
high
yeah, dude.
school. So like
Dude.
I was like a boy band era. So when they told me we were gonna make some singles, I was like, yeah, man,
Heck
I'm
yeah.
like, this
Let's
is
do
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
So obviously I wasn't a singer, but the songs production wise came out pretty good.
I bet they
So,
did.
like,
We're gonna go look it
I'll
up.
send
Yeah.
them to you later.
Please
Yeah,
send
please.
me.
I
Send
can't-
them. We
I
gotta
wanna-
hear
You
them.
yeah.
guys will die.
Yes.
Because one of them is like a New Kids. I mean, one of them is like a Backstreet type of slow song.
Oh my
But then
God.
one of them is a remake with the rap, and it's friggin' hysterical. Like my cast always was like when we got like a day to like play music, like play Mark's single.
Dude, that's
Oh
so
my
good.
God, that's
Like,
so
oh,
good.
And now they know it. But
That's
I had
awesome.
your CD, man.
That's crazy, man.
Played it
Wow.
and
Wow.
knew all the words.
That's so cool. Yeah, man.
yeah.
86 is when CDs really started to take off. So you think about this, it's almost been 40 years.
Yeah, that's
which
what I
is
mean.
insane.
Well,
can't
I mean,
even
that's
fathom
what I
that.
mean.
Dude, that's
And,
bizarre.
and I'm not
Yes.
kidding. Growth, the technology growth is exponential. So
Yeah.
in that
Well,
40 years,
yeah.
we've accomplished what
And-
would have been 80 years
and
between
the,
the
and
last
the
gap.
big
Yes.
thing the big thing with technology and to like what you guys were saying about how you were forced to just live life. There wasn't so much distraction, so many right.
Yeah.
The next evolution will be the integration of living life and using technology to where you're not thinking about it to where you're not having to pull out.
No,
a
it'll
phone.
be it'll
So
it'll,
it's just
it'll,
I
all
hope
gonna,
so. Yeah.
So then and we're kind of in this weird era where we're like Elon Musk said it best, where it's like we're already AI. It's just not.
already cyborg.
We're cyborgs.
Yeah,
There you go. It's
yes.
not. It's just not attached. It's not incorporated. But once it's incorporated, you'll
It'll
be
be
able.
overlaid.
You'll get best of both worlds. You'll be living the life and using the technology.
Well,
at the
let's
same
get
time.
that.
I
going.
know.
I know. Me
You know what I
too.
mean?
I want
I
that
know.
so bad already.
Because you go to a concert now, dude.
Oh, dude,
everyone's got their phones.
I
I
know.
know.
dude.
Yeah, I know.
I know. It's the worst.
What's
Yeah.
amazing?
They're this. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you want to watch it with these?
yeah,
things?
yeah. They're
yeah.
recording.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're not even. I mean, look it up on YouTube. Somebody else will do it.
Yes.
Why don't you live in the moment?
Or on the
Exactly.
flip side, if there's an accident or somebody's hurt,
I
Yeah.
know.
that's your first response
Yeah, I
is
know.
to film it.
Yeah.
So you have something for the IG. Like,
Yeah.
are we
Awful.
lost
The
our
beau- the-
minds?
the
Oh my
beautiful-
God, that man needs help.
I
Quick,
know.
let me get a camera.
I know. He really needs help.
The beautiful thing about us going away to do those shows, though, this last one was a 9-week block of shooting.
Mm.
Is they take your phones.
Yeah.
So the
Ooh,
entire time,
dude.
you can't have your phones. You get to FaceTime family, friends, wives, husbands, girlfriends, but like you're not so, which is nice because then, like you said in Big Brother, you're forced to communicate
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were.
and actually
Lies.
like talk to some
All
people.
lies
learn.
in that house.
Yeah, all lies. We have to get him on like
A house
we
of
have to get
lies.
him, like on a physical competition
Yes.
where it's
Yeah.
actually fun.
It's actually
Yeah,
fun.
and
that
you know you're
was-
doing stuff.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like I always liked that kind of element of the challenge.
Yeah, it is cool.
Is you don't have your phones, and
Yeah.
I love giving them my phone. Some people are like
I was-
to the very last minute. Da, 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 okay, take it.
I was about to say.
You know what I mean?
was about to say.
Crazy.
Now, did the tier 4, the younger
Oh,
guys, were they
yes.
like freaking out? Because I've seen where
They had the shakes
where
for
a
3
lot
days.
of psychologists compare
No.
it to a drug addiction. Like
No.
they
It
go
is.
through withdrawals when you take their phone away.
100% it is.
crazy.
And that's one of the best things about it is turning in that phone and not having to worry about it. Because then it's like, yeah, you get to chat with your friends. And era 1 was that era like we all I want to say we got along the best, but we really did
Yeah.
because we
You knew how to
actually-
communicate.
We knew each other
Yeah.
as people
Yep.
rather than castmates from the same show.
Yeah.
And I loved like era 1 has like a guy CT's back that's a fan favorite. Derek, one of my buddies, is back. Rachel, this girl that fans have been wanting back forever. Tina. So I was so looking forward to going back and spending time with them.
Yeah.
But
When
yeah,
does this premiere?
August 14th, which is a Wednesday
Okay.
at 10 p.m. on MTV.
Wow.
Cool, man.
And I also have All Stars, which is a spinoff that I EP.
Very
and
cool.
that is all of the
Nice.
older cast members that come back, and it's
Cool.
like fathers, like moms, dads. They
Yeah.
have they're FaceTiming their
Wow.
kids, so that's on Paramount Plus.
Cool.
That's
Cool.
so
Very
So
cool.
yeah,
cool, dude.
It's great, and I'm
It's
so
awesome.
happy. And like I said, I've now left LA, which I love.
Yeah, man.
But I'm back here all the time doing stuff, so I still get the both of best of both
yeah,
worlds.
Of course.
But
Of course.
huge fan of moving away from LA.
Yeah, I
no,
know. We're-
it's
as a
it's,
family, we've been talking
ready.
about it more and more and more.
Yeah,
how
we've been out here 40 years.
we've been out
more
here a
than that.
long time.
Yeah.
42, 43 years. I mean, ever since I've been working. So I started when I was 5. So we came out here in 81.
Isn't that wild
in
that you
81.
started when you were 5?
Mhm.
And I
Isn't that
remember
weird?
those clips for those.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Crazy stuff. So 81, started Give Me a Break in 82. And then, Carson was 81.
You know
though.
what's crazy? So at that 90s con, I also saw that Heather Locklear is going to be there.
Okay.
And I wanted to go up to her because
Yeah.
I played her baby
Yes.
in
Yes.
Dynasty.
Yes.
Did you
My
really?
mom has a picture of me as a baby, and I was the baby in that.
That is
That's so
why. You know what?
crazy.
She would love that.
I
You
hope
have
so. I don't
tell
want to
her
be
that.
like, I played your baby, and I'm an old
Yeah.
man now.
No,
I was your little baby.
I haven't seen Heather Locklear lately.
Yeah, I
I'm sure
haven't-
she looks great.
Yeah, I haven't seen
I
it.
cried like a little baby.
Mommy.
Mommy.
So tell me this. Tell me this as a fan of the brothers, because you guys have been around so long. Is there like ever any chatter of you all doing something together again?
Yeah, there is.
Because
we always, to be honest, we're always throwing it around. It's more of what type exactly. Like we've thrown around the classic sitcom. We're throwing around more of a Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right.
We don't know. We're trying some things out now.
We are working. We're working with a pretty cool team right now.
Yeah.
And
well,
we're,
your
we're
guys
actually,
before you actually launched this, the videos that you would shoot leading up to the podcast
Right.
were hilarious.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks.
thanks, man.
and that had a Curb Your Enthusiasm.
yeah,
type of feel.
yeah.
It
So
did.
that's
So
We're
we're
kinda
we
going
actually have
that
a really
route.
cool team in place right now. A lot of the guys that were a part of Wedding Crashers and stuff. So they're really
Nice.
funny dudes. And And
Yeah, very
we're actually
talented.
for the first time we're really creating something that I think could be really interesting. We wanted to do something that felt right, that we could that we've never done before,
Right.
and was a little edgier and yet still true to sort of what we want, out there creatively. And I think we've found something that's very interesting. So we're excited about it.
We're excited.
We're like,
excited.
what
And
are we,
we're
5
not-
episodes
we're
in?
not taking, the same.
We're 5 episodes in.
Okay,
so,
good.
yeah.
Basically, what this podcast has taught us,
Oh man,
which is really wild,
It's
because
absolutely nothing.
a pandemic,
Yes.
a pandemic hit, and we didn't have anything to do, and we were like, well, we got to keep ourselves busy. I know the market is saturated, but let's just try this podcast. But here's the real amazing thing that came out of it is that we realized, and we were late to the game. I mean, this is all the younger kids have
We
figured
realized
this
that
out.
podcast can work.
No,
Right.
When?
No. We figured
17 years after they were launched.
We
Basically, it was working for everybody else, and we were like, well, why not?
No.
us?
Go
So
ahead,
what
go,
we
go,
figured
go, go,
out
go,
was
go.
that the traditional route, which we grew up in and we really respect, and we were really stuck in that, is that you write something, you take it to a network, you pitch it,
Right.
the network likes it, you make a pilot. Then if the network likes that, you air a few episodes. If the audience likes that, boom, you got a show. That kind of, in that nowadays, because networks have become so diluted, the product tends to get so diluted.
Right.
And now networks are not the only game in town anymore. And we've realized to circle back, what this podcast taught us is that there are so many avenues. Let's just make it ourselves.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were doing. We had tried with networks. We were developing things, and they never, the development took 3 years.
Yeah.
Now-
Or the studio head gets fired.
Right.
That's
Oh
it.
my
We're
gosh.
done.
You're 90 feet
Yeah.
from the goal line.
Yeah.
It's like the head of VP just got fired, and the new person comes in like, yeah, we're not. We're going in a different direction.
Yeah, that has
Like,
happened
sure you
twice.
are,
Yeah.
because you got no backbone.
They don't want anything to do with the old
Nothing,
guys.
nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
True.
or woman
It's
stuff.
true.
Nothing. No, they
Exactly.
obliterate
Right
it in
on.
3
Yeah.
seconds.
Point, that has happened to
Yes.
us. So
Yes.
it's been one of those things where we feel very like we've had this kind of renaissance as older guys, because we realized what the younger generation has taught us is that you really can do it yourself.
Yeah.
And you can
It's a
get
pain
it
in the
out
ass,
there
but
and
you can do
find
it.
the audience. And then from there, that's where you can start to build out. And that's what
So
we're doing.
we
in
found a
this now.
team that is
If you
like-minded,
build it,
super
they will
talented.
come.
Yeah, super talented. And we just decided with this team to partner up and like jump in. And these guys are so talented creatively, and we're really vibing, man. So
Well,
we're
you
excited.
still obviously, even from you probably see at these 90s cons, you still have a huge fan base.
we do.
And they're chomping
fans
at
are
the
great.
bit. They're chomping at the bit to see, and it's different if Joey does something on his own or you do something, but like coming together,
coming
that's
together.
your power, dude.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
And like that is what people, I think, even me of a fan of you guys growing up, like I would like to see that again.
Yeah,
You know,
that's cool.
I got to spend
Cool.
some great time with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like,
But on his own, he's kind of boring.
Yeah,
He's
it's
got
true.
these two.
It's better
not
with
the
the
same.
three of us. Yeah, it's better with
no,
the
but
three
it's
of us.
and so you guys see all these comic cons or like these inspiring, like the who's the guy that gets on stage, the tall guy and revs everyone up.
Oh,
What's his
my
name?
gosh.
Oh God,
You
Michael
know-
Buff.
What's his name?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh,
He's got the big head and big teeth. And
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that kind of
Yes.
that kind of thing. So in December, I'm
good.
I created a company called Reality 360 with my
Cool.
partner Laura Pearson and Michael Hinckley, and we're doing because when I travel, it's like, how can we get involved in reality television? How can I pitch shows? So it's going to be all encompassing like a seminar, but we're going to talk to fans about how to become a reality producer, how to become a reality casting director, how to
Cool.
if you want to be a reality star. So it's
That's
going to be
really
like
cool,
yeah.
man.
So no one's done it yet. So we're going to
Cool.
try to do it right. I have a bunch of speakers coming in. We're doing Florida the first one, but
Very cool, man.
it's going to be kind of like, because I always get, how can I do this? Or I want to be on
Right,
this show.
right.
You know,
Right.
audition tips, or how can I get noticed? Or we have producers coming in, casting directors. So that's kind of like my little baby that you said of when you're doing your own stuff,
Yeah.
not relying on a network.
You
So we're excited about that in December in Florida.
That's
but
awesome.
but
Very
I
cool.
can't wait to see you guys, what's like the timeline of seeing like episode 1 for you
I
guys?
would say.
Well, we're gonna shoot. We just decided to shoot 10, and we're about
Okay.
halfway through. And once we
Yeah.
get those 10 together, then we'll decide.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
We'll
good.
figure it
But
out.
they're,
when-
but they're coming along great. There's a lot of options. Obviously, we could always sell it to a place, right? 'Cause
Right.
people are interested in seeing it, or we could just put it up there independently, and
Right.
then we have a lot of different
Good,
versions
good,
of the
good.
plan. But
But we like shows like,
the
like
product
It's Always
is good.
Sunny in Philly.
Yeah.
Right.
All that
Great
kind of
show.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
So
Great
that's
so
the kind,
that's sort of the vibe. That's
Yeah.
the vibe.
Okay,
we're on.
good.
Yeah.
But like you guys said, you're doing it right. Like nowadays doing your own stuff, it's why wait?
Yeah.
I'm very proactive. I'm not a wait to the phone ring
I
guy.
can't.
I
do
know,
it.
man.
I
Like,
can't
first of
do
all,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowadays,
cut
who
some
knows?
Gandalf.
Yeah, you'll
Took
just
80 years
Yeah.
to call me.
Yeah.
But yes, so
Ring! It's happening. Wrong number.
like in your wheelchair.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
You want me to play a 36-year-old football player?
I know. It doesn't work.
That is hilarious. But yeah, I'm glad that we're all trying to do stuff on that.
Yeah,
That's it.
you
Yeah,
got
man,
to.
it's so
That's what
cool.
it's all about.
I love
mean,
it.
that's you just have to keep pushing. That's
Yeah.
it. If you're lucky enough to keep doing it, you just got to keep pushing.
We
Right?
just got to get Andy on a reality
Oh boy.
kind of show.
Oh, Andy
I'm
would-
such
Andy
an-
I'm
would-
such an
Andy's a
introvert.
beast.
I don't
He's a
But
know.
beast.
that
No.
would make it. But that
Yeah.
would make it great.
Yeah, I
You could do it,
guess.
Ann.
You know,
I could do so.
Especially
I'm-
one of these physical challenges because he's
I
having a
am-
physical renaissance right now.
are you?
Yeah, he
Love
he-
it.
The last
He
8
partnered up with
months,
Tony Horton, and he's
Yeah,
become a
Tony's
beast.
my
Tony
buddy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so I trained at his house 6 days a week.
There you go.
And he's
And,
like,
uh,
this is the first time I've ever seen him since he was like maybe 18.
Yeah, I was really ripped up when I was because I was doing Disney movies, and you had like
Right.
that was the thing. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But
let's-
again, it was more of a look.
but it was definitely a
That Abercrombie
super,
and Fitch.
I was
Yeah.
an Abercrombie
Actually
and Fitch.
in the
I
calendar.
was.
Yeah.
I was a model for Abercrombie, so I looked
I
good.
love it.
But a strong gust of wind could have taken me out.
Right. Right.
And Tony's definitely turning me into a bit of a warrior, which
That's
is
awesome.
great.
Well, so look, he's dipped his toe. You've dipped your
Yeah.
toe.
I've never done it.
You're up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
so
never
you're
done
up, man. It's
never-
true.
I've never
You
done
heard it here first.
All
We
right.
need
There you go,
Andy.
man.
Yeah, we
Yep.
need
Come
Andy to
on,
do something.
Andy.
Yeah,
You
you
should do it.
You
You
should.
can
Something
do it,
physical.
Andy.
You would really.
I
You'd
had
like
train,
it.
a few more months
I think you
training.
No,
and then I
you
could
can do it now, bro. You're a
No.
beast.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
first time.
especially if you're training with him.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
Yeah.
Andy's a beast.
For the first time in our entire lives. Now he's a little,
Yeah.
he's younger,
Please
so
don't
like,
say it
but
because
for
he
the
already
first,
thinks he's already
I
drinking.
know, but I
He's
gotta
already
give-
pursing his lips.
I gotta
What's he
give
doing?
it-
What's he got? What's
the
he?
first
Andy does this
time in
thing
our
where he-
lives where
Yeah. Okay,
I
there he goes.
honestly think twice about going up against him
Physically.
First time, and I'm like, this guy is.
You
he's
always had
putting
that
in the
mental
wo-
edge
Oh,
over him.
always had it. Now I'm like, this guy.
Joey's like, I still got him. I still got him. Well, when
work
you
out a
guys
lot.
moved to
I
Boca,
flash at the least.
listen, when you guys do move to Boca,
yeah.
I wrestle down there 6 times a year.
Oh my
for-
gosh.
For
What?
It's called Boca Raton Championship Wrestling.
Get out of here.
Yeah, like the real deal, like
Amazing.
full on professional wrestling.
Oh my god.
I have a belt right now. I'm their all-star champion. I have a belt.
No, you do
I
not.
swear to God.
Oh
That's
my
But
god.
awesome.
it's all ex like NXT, WWE guys. Do you remember Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
Yeah.
He was a huge
yeah,
wrestler.
yeah.
Yes.
He's our commissioner.
What?
I got
Amazing.
walked
Wow.
out by Jimmy Hart on my last.
No
night.
way,
Yeah,
dude.
like it's like legit down in Boca. So you guys would be front row.
Oh
on that.
my
Dude, that would be
gosh.
awesome.
Love
All
it.
right. Yeah.
That would
Very
be
cool.
so cool, dude. We
Yeah.
get destroyed. I would never
Bring
do
your
it. I
daughter.
can't.
Yeah, bring
I'll
your
bring a
daughters.
girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm getting no. I'm I'm a small guy. You know, I'm not gonna do it.
No,
Small but
never.
powerful. Yeah.
picked up and swung around and
It'll
thrown out
look
of
like
the
I'll
ring.
be Stallone against Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember that in Rocky? Was
Yes.
it Rocky 3?
Yes.
Remember that when they were
Oh,
just
yeah.
That was
twirling
such a great Rocky.
Oh, it was so great.
That was my favorite.
when
Yeah,
Mick
man.
had him going up against all those losers because he
Yes.
just wanted to protect him, and he's like,
Yes.
"Ew." But that was so good. But literally, the way that Stallone looked
Yeah.
against, I mean, that's the way it would look.
Well, he's
'cause
our
Stallone-
size.
Yeah. Well,
you
he
guys
might
seen
even be
Tulsa
shorter.
King?
I
Yeah,
love
I'm
it.
watching
Yeah.
it.
Good
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, my
I like-
parents are in on that now. too.
I like him, dude.
Stallone's he's
the
Philly.
best,
You
dude.
got to.
I know.
Dude, I just love it. He was
Love
one of
it,
the
man.
first guys that said, "I'm doing it on my own."
Yep.
Yep.
And then they offered him all this money for the script and wanted Burt Reynolds to play Rocky, and he was like,
No,
"No, I'm doing it."
And how cool is this? A recent friend who we actually met through one of these cons, Garrett Headland.
I've
was on
known
the show.
Garrett
a
while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Andy's known Garrett. That's right. But
Yeah.
I never met him.
He's a good dude.
Super
He's
cool
a
guy.
really cool guy, and he was so supportive
Yeah.
of Stallone.
Yeah.
He was like, Stallone has got my back. Like
He just
I really needed to work at that point, and he got me in there and championed me through. And I was like, dude, that's so cool to
Yeah.
hear.
Everything I hear
Yeah.
about
That's awesome.
Stallone is awesome.
Philly people are different, man.
Yeah, man, I know.
I actually, when I was there for WrestleMania, I went to Reading Market downtown.
Oh yeah.
Went to breakfast there. Got Scrapple. You guys remember
Yeah,
that?
of course.
Oh, Scrapple's the shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
it's
you
so
mention
good.
Scrapple
Wow.
outside of Philly, they think you're
No,
the
dude,
devil.
Scrapple is the bomb,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, I eat Scrapple every chance I get. If
Man.
I go home
Oh
and visit my
my
parents,
God.
Scrapple and eggs in
Scrapple,
the
I
morning.
love it. Yep. That's
You ever-
our
have you-
grandfather made that
Yeah.
for us every
I haven't-
time.
yeah.
man.
Wasn't it great,
Yeah.
though?
Oh, it was the
Yes,
best,
It
dude.
is the best.
Scrapple, and then the
Oh.
of
Dude, the
course.
soft pretzels, forget it.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Oh, there's nothing like it.
Did
Those
you have
don't
a
even
pretzels?
understand?
Did you guys have a Gino's or Pat's favorite?
Of course.
What's the other one? That's the third one.
There's Gino's, Pat's.
There's one-
There's
there's,
there's
it's not Gino's or Pat's. It's like a
John's.
I was. I mean,
Ish
look,
Kabibbles,
I gotta be honest.
not
I
a
was
big fan.
probably. I was probably a Geno's guy, but
I was too.
Were you?
Yeah,
was
I
probably
would say
Geno's
Geno's,
guy.
but there was one that was near our house.
But we had Roman Delights. near
Roman
our
Roman
house,
Delights.
Delights.
which was great.
That's what I'm
That
talking
was
See,
about.
right
more
by our
local
house.
one.
We just
Yeah.
went
More
there all
local
the
one.
time.
So
Yeah.
good.
So my mom was in Fallcroft, little area of Fallcroft.
Okay.
We had Leo's.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
So we had
so
Roman
we had
Delights.
Roman
Exactly
Delights.
right.
So
yeah.
and it was great, man, because you could get the cheesesteaks and you could get the manicotti, the baked
Yeah.
shells,
Yep.
and all the East Coast stuff. But you could also get it was so funny because the restaurant you could also buy on your way out like all the tasty cakes.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
all of them.
And they had birch beer, which was so great, dude.
Yeah.
Birch beer was my
Yeah.
favorite drink. It was great.
You guys-
That and Crown Pizza.
Do you know what they just opened up in Florida that
No.
is now taken over? Which
No.
you guys have look. You can look forward to it when you
What?
move. Wawa.
No!
Really? Wawa is
Hey!
now on every other
Wait, do
corner
they
of
sell
Florida.
pretzels?
Yes. The
No
whole, the
way.
entire
Dude, we gotta
We're
go.
No
Dude,
way.
pretzels,
Are you kidding me?
cheesesteaks.
No
I mean,
way.
tasty cakes.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
my
Wawas
In
all over
Florida.
Florida.
Oh,
All over
man,
Florida now.
that's a sign.
That
I'm gonna
is
send you a
sign.
picture of a Wawa.
That's a
Please.
sign, dude.
Please,
Yeah.
man.
That's a sign right
It is a
there.
sign.
Come on.
It's a sign, dude.
We're
Dude, and
moving
they're all,
for
they're all
Wawas.
brand new. They look super nice.
Oh man! Do you know I went when
I
because we
love
shot in
Wawas,
Brooklyn,
Yeah.
the Worst Cooks. I went and drove and went to a Wawa and got pretzels and came back just to have them.
That is
Yeah.
so
Yep.
awesome. But
Yep.
yeah, we got a
dude,
Wawa.
That's
Oh,
crazy
man.
cool, bro.
Wow.
And I will tease this just because you. Later this year, I have a little guest spot on Worst Cooks.
No way!
So went back. They moved the set now to London.
Oh
What?
my
So when I got
gosh.
London,
during the
Wow.
strike, it was a whole story.
dude,
I
it's
guess.
weird.
Wow.
But
we
you
got
walk
asked to do some. What was it? I don't know what show it was, but remember it was
Scotland.
Scotland. Some not name that tune or some weird
No,
thing like that. But it was.
Traders.
Oh, you got Traders. Yeah,
Right,
that's
in
right. Yes,
Scotland.
they do that in
You
Scotland.
should have done it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was so shaken from Worst Cooks.
Oh.
I was like, there's no way in heck I'm doing that.
Listen, I'm having lunch with the gal that does it Thursday. I'm
Okay.
telling her to call you back up
All right.
because you'll enjoy it.
Yeah?
It's a very strategic.
Okay.
Are you a
game.
faithful?
Yeah.
Or are you a
I've
traitor?
never seen it, but I was scared.
I'll tell her
man.
I did the-
Season
yeah.
2 was dope.
Yeah.
I like season 2.
Oh, really? Okay. Because
Who
I
was
was
the
just
winners
like,
of season 2?
It was
Trishelle
it
and
was
CT?
it was
no?
it was the two people. It was the two people that won it.
Was it
I
a
don't
guy
know their
and a girl?
names. A guy and a girl.
Those are my MTV people.
Oh, really?
CT's on the challenge with me coming up.
Okay, so they
CT
won.
and Trishelle
He's the
won.
he's
Yes.
the buff guy. Look,
Yeah.
he's like a boss guy. He
Yes,
talks
yes.
like this. Okay, so he won, and
Exactly.
the girl.
Trishelle.
Right, and it was so cool, man, because
They kind of cut out the other girl.
yes, dude,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
wicked at the end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That scares me.
No.
I hate cutting people out. I don't
Listen,
like it.
You would love it.
Yeah?
dude.
It's just because they put you up nice.
Dude,
you're
that
in
thing at the
Scotland.
end where they got to throw those colors in the fire,
Yeah.
that shit is
Yeah.
it's real.
I think you'd like the production aspect of
Okay.
it as
all
well.
right. Well, hey,
I'm
if they
gonna
call
tell
me
her.
again,
I'm gonna
maybe
tell
I'll
her.
reconsider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're making that happen.
All right,
That's dope.
Uh,
That's dope. It's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy cool.
Anyway,
Unbelievable.
what
All
a
right.
this has been such
been great.
a blast.
Yeah, I know.
dude.
It's blown by.
Dude,
Thank you
these
guys for
hours go
having
by.
me.
You gotta
Dude.
come back.
Yeah,
Please.
I will.
Anytime you're gonna be
when
here,
the time's
let us
right.
know.
Yeah, when the time's right, we'll
Yeah.
be back and chop it up. But yeah,
All right,
I'll be
bud.
waiting for you guys in Florida, dude.
Well, we'll be
Yeah,
down
man.
there.
Yeah, we're gonna come
we'll
out.
be down there
You
in
know what?
Daytona.
You know what?
September, I might
Yeah.
come to that.
Dude,
Dude,
please.
please.
I might come to
Please.
that.
That would be a lot of
Please.
fun.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
a good time. So
Yeah,
please
we're
come.
gonna also. I think we're bringing
We're actually gonna have our crew down there for the show.
Oh, nice.
Not the pod, but for the actual
show. So if you're down, you can do
Love it.
guest on our show.
Love it.
if you want to do that.
Love it.
Yeah?
All in.
It's
dude.
super
Awesome.
it's a curb, so we have
Yeah, I
we
love
have an
it.
outline,
Yeah.
but it's cool,
Yeah.
man. We'll work you in and we're very nimble.
That sounds
So we'll
great.
come up with some really funny shit.
But
All
yeah,
right?
thank you
it'll be
guys
fun.
for having me.
Dude,
got
such
it.
a
August
pleasure.
14th,
August 14th,
Dude,
everybody.
14th.
Battle of the Eras.
Battle of the
Yes.
Eras.
MTV, 10 p.m.
10 p.m. The
Eastern.
10 spot.
And then
That's right.
Paramount Plus.
Plus, you
Yeah,
got All
All
Stars.
Stars.
All Stars,
Check that out. Mark, you're a great dude.
Dude, thank you guys.
Yeah,
for
Really
Yeah,
having me.
appreciate
man.
you being
Of
here,
course,
man.
Thank
bro.
you guys.
Yeah, buddy.
Really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you.
Everybody,
My man.
thanks so much for
Buddy.
tuning in. Have a blessed weekend. We will see you right here next week
Next
on the
week,
Brotherly Love Pod.
everybody.
God bless y'all.
On the
See
Posit
you.
Pod. Thank you.
Bye, bye, bye.
Let's go.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? The
Lawrence brothers are here.
Thank you so much for enjoying this week's episode of the Brotherly Love Pod.
And if you want more of this show, check out our premium feed on Supercast.
That's right, where you'll see ad-free episodes, monthly AMAs, behind-the-scene content, and so much more.
That's brotherlylove.supercast.com to join.
Check out our link tree and subscribe on all platforms.
We'll see you all
Next week.